Hi, it's Fraser Malcolm here, head professional at the North Berwick East Links Golf Club, and I was just going to do a quick review on the new Ecco Golf S-Three shoe that's come in to stock. I think it's been out for a little while, but I've only just got it, and just wanted to go through the main features of it and try it on and see what I thought of it. Couple of colours here. There is one other one with a bit of lime on it, a wee bit more radical, but grey here then lime. It's still decent, but I thought these were the two that potentially would sell the best, so it was the ones I went for. I used to wear the Golf Biome shoe, which this is kind of based on, a while ago, and it was one of the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn. I sometimes struggle with golf shoes that I come off with kind of tired feet, aching sort of feet, because the fit maybe isn't quite right, or the shape of the shoe isn't quite right for me. And I know that different shoes fit different people's feet. But Ecco for me was one that really always fitted, and Adidas was another one. For some reason, some of the FootJoy shoes didn't quite do it for me, but I know that they're very popular and a lot of people swear by them. So this one is Gore-Tex, and it has a molded sole. This sole unit took a bit of convincing for me when I first saw it. I thought, well, it doesn't look as though I'd feel really secure playing in tournaments and things, on playing with that sole, but it was reliable, and it was reliable even in the wet. And what I found was that it didn't clog up. It just, the way the material is and the way it's set up, it just doesn't seem to clog up with grass or mud very easily. I think it's probably some combinations of mud and grass that might stick in it, but generally I never found it clogging up with anything. So you were always getting the traction. And it lasts a long time. I mean, actually, to wear this out, the shoe probably looks an absolute state by the time that's worn out, and you would have been thinking to yourself, I need a new pair of shoes, looking at the top of them, not because the sole's worn out and somehow the leather's still really nice. If you wear them enough to wear the sole out, then the rest of it's ready to change as well. I mean, shoes don't last forever. So yeah, Gore-Tex molded sole, and not just Gore-Tex, Gore-Tex Surround, which I didn't really know a lot about, but apparently use it in hiking boots and on all sorts of other products like that. And I think everybody knows that Gore-Tex stops water molecules going through, but it has small enough holes to let vapor and heat vapor and sort of sweat molecules come out. Surround does that down the way as well, so it manages to let sweat and heat vapor come out through here, through the sole and through this unit here, not just the top of the shoe. So I mean, I haven't worn these a lot yet. I've just tried them on, but I would imagine that you're going to feel, your feet are going to feel really nice and relatively cool in these. I mean, I do get quite hot feet, and that's something I'd be quite interested in finding out if I notice a difference on that. But it's good to know that technology's in there and that it's doing everything it can to try and let the heat come out of the shoe, but obviously not ever let water in. That's part of Gore-Tex's whole thing, is they're trying to keep you dry. So other things to think about on this are the sole unit's quite interesting. I think that's why they've called it Golf S-Three, because there's 3 different densities of foam to this sole unit. So you've got the softest part in here, and then you've got the firmest part in the middle, and then you've got a medium softness in the heel unit. I think the reason for the firm bit in the middle is what's they use in good sort of hiking shoes and proper walking shoes, is it always has what's called a shank, and not a great golfing term that, but it does give stability to the middle of the shoe, and it's supposed to reduce the fatigue when you're walking on your calf muscles and your whole foot. It alleviates some of the pressure, and so makes walking a bit easier. So yeah, it's got quite a lot of technology built into it. The removable insole is also washable. Let's have a look at this and see what it looks like. So I haven't actually taken that out, but that's a nice idea. You could take it out and actually give it a proper wash, and you're not going to wreck it or anything like that. And it might make the shoes last a bit longer. If you're one of these people that stinks their shoes out a little bit and gets told to throw them out before you're ready, then that might not happen quite as easily with these ones. Yeah, so let's try them on. This is it says it on the bottom usually on Ecco. This is a 42. Now, I used to take 42 in Ecco. They do European sizes, which I think roughly a 42 is an 8. I think it might be something like an 8 1/4 or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but it's roughly an 8. And I used to always take an 8 in these. It's a funny thing with me in shoes. I remember taking 10s or buying 10s at one time in trainers and things like that. And it's almost like my feet have shrunk over the years or something, because this is now taking an 8. So this is the sort of thing that would happen, is that you put them on and they feel easy to get on and they feel comfortable in the shop. And that's a 42, but I can feel that there's a bit of space there. So I think, like a lot of the manufacturers, they're building them slightly bigger, unless my feet are genuinely shrinking. And that's what happens when you get older. Your hair falls out, your hearing goes, your eyes go, and then your feet shrink. That's possibly a thing I wasn't aware of happening. But I could get away with in the shop, and that's the sort of thing I would have done in the past. I would have made the mistake of probably buying that and thinking, oh, it fits perfect, it's 42, yeah, here we go. This one is a 41, which I don't like the thought of it, that my foot's gone from a 10 to a 7 over the years, but I tried this on earlier and it did feel like I would always advise people to buy, which is feel that a shoe is snug when it's in the shop. Don't feel like there's movement. You might almost be worried it's too small. That's when it's the right size, because especially with this leather that Ecco make themselves, which is really soft. I mean, even when it's new, you can feel it's soft, but as it gets older and it gets used, it's ridiculously soft. That's a 41. And for somebody that would normally take a 42 in Ecco, that now fits me. That would be the one I would get. And I would never have ordered that. You know, if I was saying to the rep to get a pair of shoes, and I would have said 42, and I wouldn't have thought anything of it. But that actually is the size of 41. So be careful if you're ordering them. That I think they're big made. You know, compared possibly to what they were even 3 or 4 years ago when I last had a pair of these. In terms of the comfort, you can feel in the heel there that's reasonable. You can feel it giving, and then that there in the forefoot, I can't tell a lot of difference between softness or densities. There's something about the middle. There's something about the middle of the foot that you can feel it is firmer, and it does have that kind of firm structure that you feel maybe a higher spec shoe might have. Yeah, it does. It feels like it's supporting you in your arch area, but it's still really quite soft. It's got a really nice feel about it, a really kind of high spec sort of feel. It does feel like they work hard, Ecco, in trying to get their shoes to move how and work with how a foot actually properly moves. I always tuck my laces in like this. I got shown this at the age of about 40 or something like that, where wish I'd known that. Somebody told me to, you know, just tuck the laces in like that and it looks really neat. I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me. And it was, you know, when you're walking along, you got shoes on, you got all the laces flapping about like that. It doesn't look quite as good. Tuck them in and it looks all nice and neat. So there's a wee tip for you. Didn't know you were going to get that, did you? So let me try on the sort of dark grey one. Can't get these laces out now, I've done that. But yeah, that just feels really good. Even the laces feel sort of high quality. They've just got a really nice look about them, this little Ecco patch on the top. Just all the wee bits and pieces around the side. You'd obviously take that off. This is a 44. I don't know what I'm trying this on, let's just see what, so you can, this will be a monster, wow. Let's tuck them in there. It's massive. So a 44 is a 10. God. Yeah, the problem with buying too big is it just, your heel just rubs up and down at the back. It just rubs up and down as it moves and gets bigger, and you just wear out a hole at the back. So when it's snug in the shop, that's not going to happen. It's going to give a little bit and just be the perfect size for your foot. So yeah, that's a review of the Gore-Tex S-Three from Ecco. Really impressed with it. Seriously comfortable, well built shoe, and about £159 normally, which when I first saw this and I was looking at buying it for the shop, I was frightened that it was going to be more than that. I thought it was going to be, you know, nearly 200 or something like that, and I thought it's really nice, but the market for £200 shoes is quite specialised, and we used to sell quite a lot of Ecco Biomes at about 159. It's just about at the top level of what people can justify for shoes, the vast majority of people. And it's a good investment, I think, because you're likely to come off with not having very tired feet. You're going to come off not feeling like you've walked 5 miles down and up and down hills. So yeah, really impressed with it, like it, and would fully recommend it. Okay, so hope you've enjoyed this review. Remember to subscribe if you can. It's not that big a hassle, seriously. And also do the bell thing, because if you do the bell, click the bell once you've subscribed, you get notifications about new videos that I'm doing. And I'm going to be doing quite a few more reviews, I think. Okay, thanks a lot.